me. Scrambles your brain, man. All right, y'all, we're gonna get right into this video. No crazy intros or anything like that today. The Daniel Defense, what was a 16-inch, it is now a 12.5, okay? So we chopped this, and it's the same barrel, same Daniel Defense barrel, but kind of rebuilt it for a lighter, more tuned, suppressed gun. This is an SBR. We decided to do that because in terms of lethality, 5.56 is great, it's great at range, but there's better options ballistically. And we just decided, hey, if we're doing competitions a lot, our average range that we're actually gonna engage stuff at is never going to be over 400 yards. We're good with 12.5. We just didn't need that 16-inch. And the idea was that we'd go to one of those other cartridges, one of those other platforms for longer range engagements in the future after we built this. So that's kind of why we did this. It's more or less a home defense gun, use around the farm, use around the property, use it in competitions, keep it nice, lightweight, maneuverable. I understand people that, you know, have their own hypotheticals on shit hits the fan or civil war, zombie apocalypse, whatever. But take everything I'm about to say with a grain of salt. This is just something we decided to do, and it's extremely pleasant to shoot. I wanted to make this just in case anybody out there was going to take any of the parts that we use on this for their own build or do one very similar, especially with the SBR tax stamp situation that's going to occur in January. I'll go over the parts real quick just so you know what's up. Starting off with a Surefire RC2 Mini. This was once a police trade-in. We had a baffle strike, and I'll get to that in a second. Surefire took this can in for us, recorded it, repainted it, and added a new collar even, all for free. So in case you were wondering if they will do that for free on a can that you bought new or even as a police trade-in, you're good, at least at the time of the making of this video. One thing I will say is when they do work on your can, if this happens now or in the future, I have a theory, but they changed the collar. It is a shorter throw, and it doesn't really make a ratcheting noise like every other Surefire you've probably encountered. So I think they do that just to know that they've worked on the can, but again, just a theory. Thank God they did that for free. Took them about a month, but their customer service was really good. Getting to the barrel, it is still a Daniel Defense barrel. We did not change it. We simply chopped it from 16 to 12.5. D. Wilson Manufacturing did it. Now the reason we had a baffle strike was because we were honestly pretty giddy to get this thing and shoot it. We put the can right on, muzzle device was already mounted. I think we all just assumed, oh yeah, it's still aligned, even though they chopped it, recrowned it, rethreaded it, you know, all that. And we just weren't thinking about it. So if you do get it chopped, make sure you use an alignment rod, check for alignment. You don't want a baffle strike. We were using, just for clarification, PMC bronze. Never had a problem with it. It was just, I think they put the muzzle device back on and we never checked it. So that's our fault. Anyway, they did a great job with that. They did install the rifle speed 12 position adjustable gas block. There's a couple different options out there for adjustable gas blocks, but rifle speed seems to be one of, if not the most user-friendly in terms of length on it, what barrel you're gonna use, depending on barrel length, the rail that you choose, everything like that. So in order to get clearance for the rifle speed, we went with an SLR. I think this is their solo series of rails. This is like 11.7 or something like that. But it basically has the pick section on the sides and on the top. If you went with a straight M-lock, you wouldn't be able to mount M-lock mounts to the end because of that gas block. We're not using them right now, but in case we needed to, they're there. The light is a Surefire Turbo 2-cell. This thing's a demon if you're in front of it and you happen to get shined by it, but super capable. It's on the swivel mount, so that kicks up the light a little bit so you don't get as much suppressor shadow there. Unity hot button on top. This is a constant button press, and then you can kind of just tap it for momentary. Faro Concepts sling mount with a T-Rex arms sling. We've had this one. It's honestly really good, and despite what that company's kind of gone through, we got the sling before all that, but it's a super solid sling, so we kept it. New to this gun though is the Acro P2 with the ScalarWorks riser. Super solid. I know a lot of people would probably wince at this setup or question this setup, but honestly the sight picture is super nice. You kind of get used to it quickly. It's just a dot, right? And then it's super light. So kind of keeping the theme here of shortening the gun, we did make it lighter without having the ACOG with the T1 on top of it, all that. So this setup's super nice, super light, comfortable to shoot in terms of weight. Receiver set, everything's the same, including the BCM grip here, and then the Geisley SSAE. So I'll ghost it for you. So like glass, I've done that probably 5 times on this channel now or whatever, but great trigger. If you can get a blimp sail or just any sail on one of those, I think it's the best trigger for the money. Same Daniel charging handle. New to this gun or this setup is the CTR stock. I'll have to put up on screen who makes this 3D printed parts, like a bag rider, but nice to have in case you're zeroing the gun or changing stuff up. So, but CTR, I mean, classic stock, classic Magpul right there. So in general, kind of twofold reasons that we went with this. Again, I mentioned it being lighter, shorter, more maneuverable, very easy to use gun, very comfortable to use gun, very pleasant to shoot because of that, but also because it is tuned now. I forgot to mention as well, it's just a carbine spring, carbine buffer. It used to have the Geisley Super 42. That buffer that comes with that's an H2 or H2 equivalent. We didn't need all that with the adjustability of the gas block now, so we just went back to a carbine spring and buffer. The tuning is probably the nicest part of this build, the biggest reason why we went with this build the way that we did. Just because shooting a suppressed gun with a non-flow through can, it's not the most pleasant thing in the world. Whether you're doing competitions or just training really hard, you get gassed out so easily. And if you can change it and you have the means to do it, I say go for it. The rifle speed, gas block on this host is phenomenal. The adjustability is great in case there's adverse conditions or we change up ammo that we're using. Anything that we use, we are able to tune it perfectly. Most manufacturers, if not all of them, are gonna give you a gun that's overgassed anyway, so throwing a can on top of that just makes the problem worse. Now the adjustability makes this gun super nice to shoot. The other main reason, again, like I said before, there's other cartridges out there, other platforms to reach out and hit things at a distance. Kind of a lot better than 5.56 if we're being honest. In terms of a build, if you're looking to build one, we couldn't recommend the rifle speed enough, especially if you have a non-flow through can. It's gonna make your gun really pleasant to shoot. If you guys have seen that 16-inch Daniel video we did before this current form, we were using a BRT Easy Tune gas tube before on the 16-inch gun, and it was super solid. We did enjoy that, but it's not a permanent fix. Once you start shooting it more and more, things start to kind of close off and you get essentially the same gun that you had before and you have to replace that. This is going to have better longevity down the road. But that's pretty much it. I just wanted to get this video out to you guys because I thought it was important. I thought it would be useful for some of you out there that are looking to do your own build or maybe modify the gun that you do have right now. Or if you're going to buy an SBR when those kind of become more accessible, it's probably not going to be tuned very well. And this might be something you want to do instead in terms of building a rifle or buying a rifle. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you got something out of it. If you'd like to support the channel, like, subscribe, comment, do all that. If you got questions, leave them down below. I'll get to them. If you'd like, check out the Instagram. I'll leave the link down below. A lot of photos, super active on there. It means a lot for the sport. So thank you for watching.
Legend. Old head blows pills, man.
No, I'm
One of those pill sorters.
Dude, 72 shots.